Hello, friends. Today, we'll break down the plot of the 2013 British black tragicomedy Filth. It's Christmas Eve in Edinburgh, and the wife of police detective Sergeant Bruce Robertson goes for a walk around the city. While in a subway tunnel, she inadvertently becomes a witness to a crime. A group of thugs attacks a Japanese tourist, taking his life before fleeing the scene. Bruce adores Scotland and its locals, considering them the best in the world, always kind and approachable. Of course, in some cases, they show their character and flip the middle finger, but that only adds to their charm. At work, Bruce never misses an opportunity to make his colleagues uncomfortable, such as by letting out gas during meetings. He dreams of being promoted to the position of detective inspector, and sees his co-workers as competitors. Among the contenders for the role is Doogie Gilman, a stereotypical Scottish cop with racist tendencies. Peter Inglis, whom Bruce suspects of being gay, and rookie Ray Lennox, a fan of white powder. Other rivals include Gus Bain, an older, not-so-bright cop nearing retirement, and Amanda Drummond, a young woman Bruce dismisses as a pretty but promiscuous girl who could only get promoted by sleeping her way to the top. After a briefing, Bruce's boss Bob assigns him to investigate the subway tunnel crime. Bruce has the trust of his boss, who dreams of becoming a screenwriter, and enough leverage to track down and capture the culprits. Determined to secure his promotion, Bruce resorts to any means necessary to achieve his goal. While working with Ray, Bruce reminds him of a wild night they had with an easygoing woman, humiliating the young detective by implying he's not well endowed. Eventually, they identify a suspect and begin surveillance. They find him with an underage girl, which gives Bruce an opportunity to blackmail him into cooperating with the investigation. At the same time, Bruce uses the opportunity to have fun with the girl in bed and employs unorthodox interrogation methods to pressure the suspect. Another victim of Bruce's schemes is Doogie's wife, with whom Bruce has an affair. Doogie suspects his wife of infidelity, but Bruce manipulates the situation, all while sowing discord among his colleagues. One day, while wandering the city, Bruce notices a man in distress. He calls for an ambulance and tries to resuscitate him, but his efforts are in vain. Meanwhile, Bruce continues to be haunted by the ghost of his late younger brother, a figure that has tormented him throughout his life. As his severe mental disorder and hallucinations worsen, Bruce seeks help from Dr. Rossi. In the evening, Bruce watches adult videos and decides to pleasure himself, but finds no satisfaction. Looking for some fun, he calls his best friend's wife, continuing to torment her like a true maniac. Meeting up with Clifford, Bruce visits a Masonic lodge and steals money from his friend to buy some powder. His boss reminds him that the prank caller case is going nowhere and urges him to close it as soon as possible. The next morning, Bruce visits his friend's wife, suggesting she play along with the maniac instead of rejecting him, believing this will make him lose interest in harassing her. After extracting useful information from the suspect, Bruce interrogates a florist and realizes she's terrified. Outside, he meets Mary, the widow of the man he failed to save. She seems to be the only one who brings him back to reality, making him feel like a normal person. Back home, Bruce indulges in illegal substances, triggering hallucinations and a nightmare featuring his doctor. At work, he spirals further, spreading rumors about Peter's alleged sexual orientation to humiliate him in front of the entire team. As the investigation into the Japanese tourist's murder progresses, Bruce visits a brothel to collect biological samples from the suspected perpetrators. Soon, the police station hosts a party. Bruce notices Ray trying to flirt with the boss's secretary and suggests playing a game. The men must scan their genitals on a printer, and the women try to guess the owner of each photo. Ray embarrasses himself with his gherkin, while Bruce enhances the size of his image to impress the secretary. He ultimately seduces her, but during their encounter, she calls out his deception. Continuing to sow discord, Bruce pays a gay man to pretend to be Peter's acquaintance. Caught in an awkward situation, Peter tries to defend himself but ends up getting punched by Doogie. Instead of focusing on the investigation, Bruce becomes entangled in his own schemes, creating new problems for himself. Taking leave, he escapes to Hamburg with Clifford, where they enjoy a brothel visit, and Bruce breaks Clifford's glasses as a prank. At a bar, Bruce slips a few fun pills into Clifford's cocktail, leading to wild antics with a group of gay men. Bruce's haunting hallucinations persist, featuring pig-faced figures and other terrifying animals. One night, he sees a woman in a brothel whom he mistakes for his wife but realizes it's a stranger. Back in Edinburgh, Bruce learns that he has been removed from leading the investigation, and Amanda has taken over. His colleagues are at each other's throats, but Bruce pulls himself together when he sees Mary and her son. She sets him as an example for her child, believing him to be a good man. In a conversation with Ray, Bruce discovers that Ray has decided to quit drugs to qualify for the inspector position, immersing himself once again in his web of lies. Bruce manipulates Ray into believing that his co-workers are enemies plotting to humiliate him. In front of their superiors, Bruce's wife demands he get the promotion, but his plans and hopes crumble bit by bit. Watching old videos of his wife and daughter, Bruce breaks down in tears. He then recalls the prank calls. This time, his friend's wife doesn't reject the caller, but arouses him with erotic responses, giving him pleasure. Alcohol, powder, and easy women remain the center of Bruce's life. The hallucinations intensify, but Bruce can't return to a normal life. Seeing an elephant's head instead of a colleague's face, he tries to flee, only to be scolded by his boss for his disheveled appearance. The boss threatens to fire him if he doesn't catch the prank caller, prompting Bruce to take desperate measures. He invites Clifford over, gets him drunk, and records incriminating evidence suggesting that Clifford is harassing his own wife. The next morning, Bruce plays the recording for Clifford's wife and ends up sleeping with her. The hallucinations grow even more vivid, leaving Bruce in a women's restroom with no memory of how he got there. He argues with Amanda, but she tries to support him in his difficult time. She believes Bruce is a good cop but needs to straighten out and quit his bad habits. Losing control, Bruce beats Clifford in a holding cell and narrowly escapes being strangled by Doogie's domineering wife during an intimate moment. At some point, Bruce realizes his wife, Carol, and daughter left him long ago, though he doesn't understand why. All this time, he has only been communicating with them in his hallucinations, dressing in women's clothing and wandering the streets. During one such outing, he witnessed the group of thugs murdering the Japanese tourist. On another walk in his wife's clothing, Bruce is attacked by a gang. They beat him and drag him to an abandoned office building. The gang leader plans to kill him, but attempts to kiss Bruce in a sudden twist. Summoning his strength, Bruce throws the leader out a window, after which he is found by Peter and Amanda. As a result of the incident, Bruce is demoted to constable, while Ray is promoted to inspector. Now confident and assertive, Ray mocks Bruce, reminding him who is truly pathetic. In a supermarket, Bruce sees his wife and daughter and realizes they left him for a black man. Everyone has abandoned him except Mary and her son, who sincerely empathize with him and offer to visit him at home soon. Sometime later, Bruce takes a shower, ignoring calls. Tired of his life, he decides to do one last good deed. Dressed in his constable's uniform, he records a video message for Clifford, apologizing and asking for forgiveness. He gives Clifford advice on reconciling with his wife and calls him his only true friend. Afterward, Bruce makes a noose from the scarf Mary gave him and prepares a stall to end his life. At the last moment, he sees Mary and her son outside the front door. He decides not to end his life in their presence and waits until they leave. With tears in his eyes, Bruce utters his favorite phrase one last time: "The rules are the same everywhere." Then, the stall breaks, and Bruce leaves this world forever. And that's how the movie ends. Thank you for watching until the end. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss new videos. See you soon, and goodbye.